Hello, in this video, we're going to continue talking about the components on Figma. As you remember, in our last video, we talked about how to create a basic component and how to use it. Well, in this video, we're going to learn how to create a multiple components, but also a component set with its variants and also the properties. This way to work is much better because you can work quickly and also you can have a better consistency in your design and also reduce the number of the elements and the components in your file. We're going to see how to create a multiple components in this example. If you remember, we can create a component from any design that we have in our Figma. And the way to create a component is selecting the layer and go here to create a component. But if we have a multiple layers selected, this icon will change, and here this icon will change, and you can see here drop down options. We're going to click there to see the different options that we have. The first is the basic. We can create a component with all the elements in one component, but we want to create multiple components because we have different icons. We're going to use the second option, create multiple components. And now we have here four icons or four components, and we can go to the assets bar to see where are our icons. You can notice that we have here these icons in one group and this other is in another group, because in this case all my icons was named with icon slash and the name of the icon, but in this case I only named without the icon slash. This is an example. This is a classic example that we can have, but it's not a problem because we can rename the layer to add this element in our group. Only we need to change the name, like icon slash and the number of the icon. And now we have all the icons in the same group. It's very important that you have this consistency with the names because it's the same way to work with the properties that we're going to see in the next examples. Well, we have here another example with different buttons, but all of them are buttons. And we want to create this as single component, but with the different variants. I named all the components with the follow order: button slash the color, in this case blue or black, slash and the type of my button, fill or outline. This is very important because when we create the component set, we're going to create also the properties from these names. Well, I'm going to select all my components. I'm going to go to the icon of the components and click in the drop down. But now we're going to create a component set. Now you can see this border in the group of my component. And now all the components are part of the button component. In my assets bar, you can see that we only have one component. I'm going to drag this component here. This is the instance. And as you can see, we have here in our design, in the other side of the screen, we have here in the design bar, the properties of this component, and we can change it. We can change to the black, or we can change to the fill or outline. But property 1 and property 2, it's not a easy way to recognize all the properties, but we can change it. So that I need to select the component in the purple line. And now I have here this option to edit. I can change the number of my property, like color. And I'm going to change the other one for type. And now it's easily to recognize the properties in the variants of my button. I have here, and I can go and I can see the property like a color. I can change the color, and I can change the type. We need to know how to differentiate into the properties to the variant. The variant is when you have the same composition of the component, but you can change something. In this case, in this example, I changed the color because this is my info button and this is my success button. But also we have properties. The properties are these elements inside of my component. Is, for example, in this case, this icon or this element and the text. And well, we have here the properties and the variants. The type of the properties in our design. For that, I'm going to create another example. Other way to create a component set is when we have a component, we can create a basic component, but in this part, we can create properties, and we can manage the properties. And as you can see, this is a new tool on Figma, and we can swap into property. This icon with the arrow, apply the instance property to this icon. I'm going to teach you how to create. We can name it. In this case, I'm going to change the name to icon. And this value is related with our set of icons that we created before. I'm going to create this property. And now we have here this new property in our component. I'm going to add this, I'm going to change the property of this element here again, but in this case, it's not an element related with our icons. It's only a layer, and I'm going to change the name to close. And the value automatically, Figma detect that we have a Boolean property is true or false. We're going to show or hide the property in our component. I'm going to create this. And now maybe I want to add another property from this element, I'm going to create and we'll name like a label. Now, I have here my component. This is an alert, and I can drag my alert and I can use it. And as you can see, we have here the different properties in my component. I can hide the close, and I can hide the label or show. But also, if you remember, we have the instance property, this instance property, and you can go into your elements and you can change it for that. Something you can have here, all the icons that we created before. But what happens if I have this element, but I want to create a variant? Well, you can do it. We have here this option on properties and this plus. I'm going to add this variant. And now you can see how to change to with this component set, because now we're going to create more variants in this set. I'm going to add, I can add here a variant, and Figma automatically copy your last component to create a new one. Well, I'm going to change it. I'm going to change something here. We want to create a success. Okay. Perfect. In this case, we have here two variants, but maybe you want to create another one. You can increase your group and copy and paste the other variant, and we can change the number to Tanger because we want to change it. And I'm going to change the colors. And here, we have here, if I select all the component in the purple border, I can select and I can see the properties, and I can edit all the properties, because in this case, for example, we have here this property called property one, and doesn't mean nothing to me. I'm going to change to status. And also I can change, I can create the values. This info. Okay. I want to change the name of this because this variant 2 was created from Figma, and I want to change to success. And now I have here my variant. And this is how to the properties are in our component. All the properties are the status, the label, the icon, and the Boolean element is the close, the cross. And we're going to we're going to see our instance. and how to change. Now we have here the variants, the status. With success, we can change the danger, and we can continue working with the other, we can continue having the same properties to close or the label, or also change to the icon. Well, this is the way to work with components, the variants, and these properties. I hope this will be helpful, and see you next time.